the surgical team did work with the electrodes produced with some very, very good results and a way forward as to how the next generation of hearing implants is going to be developed. Pressure monitoring, this is actually a sensor rather than an actuator, but because it's got to be permanently implanted, it has all the same requirements. And here you can see we have a tiny, tiny pressure sensor which is at the end here. And of course the rest of this can actually go outside the skull. So you're having minimal effect onto the brain region. Then what you have to do is this is implanted permanently. And when you want to take a pressure reading, you bring the mating reader up onto the top of the skull, take a reading, and then remove it. So you can take readings as often as you want. At the moment, there is no way of monitoring the pressure in the brain cavity without putting a hole in. And that is very dangerous and only normally done in traumatic brain injury as a result of a car accident or something like that. Of course, the core bits, there's a lot of core bits. I've pulled these 3 parts out only because they have ended up as a component solution rather than a technology solution. You need power, you need communications, you also need the biocompatible materials, and we do have a lot of work written on that. We've developed with SAFT and CEA an implantable battery. That couldn't go into implants during the lifetime of this project because it takes 4 years to develop one to say it's now safe enough, now go and design your system solution with it. It will be encased into the implant, so it will be part of the implanted electronics. And that specification is sufficiently high that it will give power to these strong things like functional stimulations. They do need a lot of current. So they do require a lot of power. A biofuel cell has been developed for the applications like a pacemaker or a pain sensor or pain actuator, where they require only a very small amount of power. And the idea is this could sit in you for your lifetime and you recharge it because your glucose recharges this little chap. So it's using your energy all the time and you don't need to recharge it. It sits there ideally for the rest of your days, never comes out. Now that's a long way off, but what they have proven is they can get sufficient power from something that can fit over a pacemaker to power a pacemaker. So the concept is past the concept stage to a demonstration, ready to go into something. Medical implants communication service. This is the standard for if you're going to talk to something inside your body. Because obviously we can't use any of these wireless comms. Bluetooth is not allowed. Zigbee is not allowed. There are communications that are at the right frequency, at the right power ratings that won't kill you, won't cause you any damage, and also hopefully not everyone else will be actuating your implant. So you do have to worry. You know, we did have this talk, if you're having an FES conference and suddenly everybody has to go to the toilet at the same time because we've all got the same system, that wouldn't be very useful. So there has to be ways that you can have a standard protocol and then have a unique way that your device is set up. This now, if you look at the Zarlink site, they are world leaders and flying with this product. And this is due to our project taking them through to developing system solutions around the core chip. So the chip wasn't designed in this project, the system solution was. Now everybody can see, oh, so I put that in the body and that on the body, it talks to each other, that's how I do it, this is what I use, I'll have them. So there are major people now in the world using this system solution. So this is a real winner for Healthy Aims. Then, of course, we got the on-the-body sensors. That's a lot easier. You can actually sometimes get away with just CE marking and ethics approval for doing trials. or type 1, class 1, class 2A. So very much easier, but still a real challenge. And you have to give people what they want. Catheters for urodynamics, they are around. There are very expensive €1,000 devices or cheap €4 devices, but then you have to be connected up to a water supply, which isn't totally convenient, but it's what we do today. The idea is that this device is comparable to the €4, throw away at the end of the test, but you can also take it off and do a 24-hour urodynamic test. This is proven in the lab, but comparing to a standard urodynamics test. So we have the trials there against the standard urodynamics piece of equipment against the low-cost throwaway sensor, and they're very, very good. So the next stage is to take that into clinical trials. Glaucoma sensor, I don't know if anybody has ever had a glaucoma sensor test, a tonometer. They blast air at you, they look at the flexure of the eye, and they say, oh yes, that's the pressure in your eye. It's an instant test. It is fairly invasive because you can't see for 4 hours because they've completely unbalanced your whole eye, and you can only have it done in certain places. This is a contact lens. You can just see the gold line, and that is the antenna. This has got a chip, an ASIC chip in it. It's got the wireless communications. It's got the antenna out to a pair of glasses, so it reads the signal. That person doesn't know they've got anything more than a contact lens on. That is a real challenge. A 50-micron ASIC assembled onto a flexible substrate, a contact lens, is what we had to have. The activity monitor, again, we heard a little bit about these sort of things this morning, and everybody's talked about activity monitoring. This is one of the things that's been around probably for 10 years. Again, we didn't want to do what everyone else is doing. Why do we want to measure activity when everyone else has got an activity monitor? But what do we want to measure? For clinical applications, you often need very precise information about the gait. So this system has been developed as a stride characteristic. So it tells you precisely the stride, the repetition, how uniform are they, how long did they walk at, how far did they walk. All of these pieces of information are supplied. So we're moving on to be able to really give a proper diagnosis for medical conditions rather than saying, oh yes, they were doing level 2 activity. What does that mean? So this means their stride changed, they've got a problem. Their stride wasn't uniform, they've got a problem. Again, that can come back to elderly, fall detection, balance, etc., etc.
2 minutes, Diana.
Yeah, last one. And joint angle was the last thing there. Again, why do we want to put all these sensors on? Well, actually, we probably want to see their gait profile. What's their gait profile? What do they walk at? What's the angle of the walk? Let's not use all these optical systems. Let's just put them onto a person, and off they go. Again, compared to optical systems and as accurate as them. Publicity, we've got a lot of it. We've been very active to tell people about it. In fact, again, the first speaker, he knows about the article in Pervasive Computing because he was one of the editors, saw it. It did receive a lot of interest around the world. We've had a lot of response from America based on that article. We've also done our own 14-minute video because we thought people really would like to know all the exciting stuff, and that gives a bit more details about the operations, etc. There's loads of articles. We've all been, the 24, 25 partners have been extremely active. We've also done our own product catalogue so that you can get one of these as well. This is available on our website, and it tells you very easily what sort of things we've done. And that's the team. Thank you.